What do you think? Good. Alright guys, what's happening? Good morning. It is Tuesday, September 26, 2017. We are flying by in terms of all these days. This is nuts. But you guys are probably looking right at the sun. My apologies. So, headed into work for the day, running late. I had some issues with Grant, getting him out the door and stuff. But I looked up earlier today what tomorrow's BitConnect rates are, and it's 1.85% tomorrow. That means with my bonus percentage, I'll get my first over 2% payday. So tomorrow, I think I'm going to be making about $300. That is insane. It's insane. So, finally ran into my neighbor, my crazy neighbor, last night. I haven't seen him in like a month or two. And I said, hey, how you doing with your crypto portfolio? You know, all this stuff. He's like, oh, not so good, not so good. It's down, it's really far down, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, dude, have you started into BitConnect yet? And he's like, well, no, you know, maybe once the market recovers, I can, you know, sell for what I got into it, and then do the BitConnect, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, dude, like, I kind of told him again what I'm doing, and he's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, dude, you should have looked into this, like when I sent it to you. He's like, you sent me an email about this? I'm like, yeah, I sent it to you like 2 months ago. It was actually 3 months ago. It was in August when I first suggested BitConnect to him, and then it was at least a month ago that I like sent him all of my info. And you know, I'm like, dude, you're making hundreds of dollars a day and you don't have to do shit. I told him, I'm like, dude, by the end of this year, I'm probably not even going to be feeling the mining thing anymore. You know, what's the point? You know, I mean, I was just thinking I could probably sell my mining gear for a couple grand, apply that in January towards the 15K that is releasing, and do like a 20K. So I was explaining all this to him, and he's like, wow, that's a lot, and blah, blah. I'm like, you don't have to start with those kind of numbers. I told him, I'm like, I started with like $200 loans, and then I did a 5K, and then I did the 10K. But I'm like, each prior loan was paying for, you know, future loans and stuff. I told him, I'm like, it's been 3 months, and my $200 loan, I made back $200. So in 3 months to double your money, and then in like, I think it's 6 months, I'm gonna triple my money. That wasn't good. Just ran over something. He's like, well, how long is it gonna be around for? Blah, blah, blah. You know, if I know it's gonna be around for 2 years, you know, I would totally do it. I'm like, dude, I told you about this 2 months ago. You need to get this while you can. Like, fuck it, whatever, you know? So it is what it is, but, you know, I just kept harping on him about it. He's like, oh, look at this ICO, that ICO, this thing, that thing. You know, I'm thinking about all these other altcoins that, you know, have the biggest potential for reward and this. I'm like, dude, you gotta make some fucking money, dude. Like, after you make money and you're positive, then you can play those games. But, like, to just be hoping and wishing, that's like playing the lottery. Like, yeah, it might pay out, you know, someday, one day, but meanwhile, all your money, all your everything is fucking tied up, dude. But, so if you have no clue what I'm talking about, guys, look into it. I'm pretty sure the link, my referral link, is in the description of this video. Look into it. It's a crypto platform. I'm talking about BitConnect. and you make daily interest on your loans. So you essentially give them Bitcoin, place a loan for whatever amount you want. So I set it with $200 loans, and you make back interest daily. So if you've been watching these and you're like, what is he talking about every single day? You make money daily back. Like you get interest on top of your loan. Your loan, your initial principal, it's locked up for a certain amount of time based on how much you loan. The more you loan, the quicker you get it back. 10K loan, you're going to get it back in 4 months. A $200 loan, it's going to be 6 months. But you get daily payout. The average daily interest rate is about 1%. Some days it's more, some days it's less. So tomorrow it's going to be 1.85% or whatever. One day in last week it was 0. But depending on how much you loan, you actually get bonus percentage if you loan a lot more. So if you loan like, I think it's like $1,000 to $5,000, you make an extra additional 0.1% on top of the daily. So if the daily's 0, you're still making 0.1% of $1,000 or whatever. So that would be like $1. You still made $1. How cool is that? That's not freaking bad for a return. If you do, I think it's $5,000 to $10,000 loans, you get a 0.2 bonus percentage. And then if you do a 10K or above, you get a bonus 0.25 of 1%. So let's say tomorrow's 1.85%. You add on the 0.25 on top of that. So tomorrow I'm going to be making 2.1% interest on my 10K loan. That's insane. I can't do the math right now, but it's a lot of fucking money, and that's just like one day. So look into it, check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm still hesitant to recommend this to family, friends, anything like that. Like I have close friends and stuff, because I can't guarantee anything. When I do mention it to friends or in front of people or whatever, they say it's a pyramid scheme and all, and I get it, but it's not. It really is not. So having said that, yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. You gotta. It's an investment. So a lot of people barely invest in themselves. Like, you talk about 401k and you're like, yeah, I do that, and then you're like, how much? Like, well, like 1%, 2% or whatever. Well, what's your company match? Oh, I think it's 4%. It's like, you're not even getting all of your free money. And I talk to people and try to, especially younger people, and try to at least stress to them the importance of a 401k. Well, that's really not enough. Like a 401k, I had my 401k essentially wiped out in 2008 from the stock market crash. Now, had I been retirement age, I would have been working at fucking Walmart. I'm serious. I'm sure you guys can tell right now, but this is like a big fucking deal. You can't rely on Social Security. Your 401k, yes, that's going to be our retirement fund. So, and then anything bonus or added to that, like stock purchases, dividend paying assets, passive income, all that type of shit is huge. It's really, really big. So I'm looking to just use BitConnect to build up my savings. Dig me out of debt, build up savings, and anything more than that, yeehaw, whatever. But it takes time, and you gotta do it. I told my neighbor, I'm like, dude, do $100. Oh, my wife won't let me do anything more after I made a bad Litecoin decision. I bought it at $71 and blah, blah, blah. $100, dude. In 6 months, you'll triple your $100. You're not going to get that in any other way in investing. I mean, you can if you make some good calls trading, but good luck. Stay tuned for more. Okay guys, in another life I used to make tutorial videos and stuff on different gun related topics and all that for YouTube. I don't think I'm going to be doing it for this. I'm just not feeling it. But I finally received the Mag Guts Smith & Wesson Shield +2 conversion kit. So it includes essentially all the guts that are inside of the magazine, and we just need a mag. So let's see what we got here. We got a couple in here. Let's do the let's do them both. What's the point, right? Okay. Close this up. And I mentioned it before. The problem I was having was that this is happening with both magazines. These are single stack mags. This is a 7 round. This is an 8 round. If you load them to full capacity, it was crushing and fucking up the springs on the inside to the point where the springs were kind of like bending into a 90-degree angle inside of here, and then it made it so you couldn't. It was like impossible to put a last round in the mags. But then I was getting because of that, I was getting some other issues, particularly when the last round was about to cycle into the gun would jam, failure to feed, and then I was also getting like issues where the slide wouldn't lock open on the very last round. So yeah, we're gonna try this out though, and basically you just remove the butt plate here of the mag. There's just a little button on there. You press the button and it slides off, and we're gonna replace it with all of their stuff. So let's try it. Okay, so I don't have a tripod. This is kind of hard to do with one hand, but I took the base plate off. Actually, I just shot it off. And you can see here the spring is already stuck in the mag. Yeah, look at, there you go. So apparently this is a common problem with the Smith & Wesson Shield for years. I've seen this on posts complaining about this for years, and I don't know. You think they would have done something about it? It appears as if the main issue is the spring almost has like two different widths. So it's like a wider width and then a skinnier width, and right where those like kind of transitions between those two is where this folding is occurring. So I literally just took this apart and it was already like that. So that probably had less than 20 rounds through it, and it was doing that. So it seems to be like once it happens, it just happens all the time. Okay guys, so this is made in the USA, magguts.com. This is particularly the Shield 9mm +2 conversion. So they have a couple different options. They have one that is just like the guts, and it doesn't, I think there's like a +1 and then there's also a +2. So here's from my understanding. This is their spring that replaces this shit. This is their, I don't know the terminology. Replaces this piece. And then this is almost like a little bit of a shim that goes in the bottom, and it'll lock into their base plate. So they actually give you, oh, it says mag guts and everything on there. And it should be relatively simple to follow this procedure. It might take me a couple tries to get it right, but I think you just drop this in. I might have it backwards. I'm gonna have to play with that. And then yeah, the bolts will rest on that. Alright, so there you have it. It seems to be working well. Alright, so I was in the middle of a work meeting, so that's why I had to cut the video off. But it appears as if they are working pretty well. I did have to cycle some rounds through the second mag that I did before it would hold the full +2. It was only doing the +1. So now the 8-round mag holds 10. The 7-round mag holds 9, and I couldn't be happier. It seems to be really good. I'm already seeing how that it's locking the gun open on empty. I thought it would have some feed issues, feeding them right in there. Those are the hollow points though, so I'm gonna have to test it out at the range some other day or sometime, maybe, hopefully before winter. But I'm feeling more confident over that, over the stock magazine issue. So I'm going to email Smith & Wesson, see what they say. If anything, maybe I can get a couple extra magazines out of it or something. We'll see. So I got to get back to work, though. Stay tuned for more.